Assalamu alaikum YouTube, this is Said Mirza. In today's video I wanted to talk about the subject of Taghut in the Qur'an. Now the word Taghut is usually translated as evil forces, satanic forces, or some other abstract term. But if we actually look in the Quran and read the context, you will see clearly that what the word Taghut is talking about is the satanic system that we are living in. And it has always meant this. It's always meant the oppressors, the people who are plugged into the system and who basically are serving the shaitan. And God willing, after I'm done with this reading of the passages, you will start to see what the word Taghut actually means. Now, to preface this, I wanted to start out with a passage in the Quran that talks about the wager that shaitan made with God when Adam was created. So this is chapter 17, verses 61 to 65. And when we said to the angels, submit to Adam, they submitted, save Iblis. He said, shall I submit to what thou hast created of clay? He said, seest thou this whom thou hast honored above me? If thou grant me respite until the day of resurrection, I will master his progeny, save a few. Said he, depart thou, and whoso of them follows thee, hell is your reward, an ample reward. And incite thou whom thou canst of them with thy voice, and rally thou horse and foot against them, and partner thou them in their wealth and children, and promise thou them. But the shaitan promises them only deception. My servants, against them thou hast no warrant, and thy Lord suffices as guardian. Now, I'm gonna read two other translations by Pickett Hall and Yusuf Ali. By the way, this translation was from Brother Gerrans' work, The Qur'an, A Complete Revelation. Okay, this is Marmaduke, Pickett Hall, chapter 17, verse 64. And excite any of them whom thou canst with thy voice, and urge thy horse and foot against them, and be a partner in their wealth and children, and promise them. Satan promiseth them only to deceive. And this is Yusuf Ali. Lead to destruction those whom thou canst among them. With thy, in brackets, seductive voice, make assaults on them with thy cavalry and thy infantry. Mutually share with them wealth and children, and make promises to them. But Satan promises them nothing but deceit. Now, I hope you're getting the picture here. What's happening is that this is the modus operandi of the shaitan, as in he is allowed to rally horse and foot against the believers, as in he can use the power of the state, the cavalry, the king's cavalry against them. And he also partners with men in their wealth and children, as in he makes them fear that the loss of their wealth and children, or the safety of their children, and this stops them from doing the right thing, because this is what it's about. It's about standing up and saying the truth and doing the right thing and resisting oppression. And promise thou them, but the shaitan promises them only deception. So this is all just deception. He can't really harm you unless God wills. My servants, against them thou hast no warrant, and thy Lord suffices as guardian. Why? Because if God is taken as a guardian, then all these threats evaporate. And we understand that God is above all things. And if He is our guardian and He is our protector, then no harm can come to us. And this understanding, this internalizing, this belief allows us to stand up and resist the powers of shaitan. Now, before I proceed, I wanted to let you know that most of my video is based on the work of Brother Gerrans titled The Qur'an, A Complete Revelation, which can be downloaded for free from Qur'anite.com. Now, Brother Gerrans is using the word idols for Taghut, and you'll see that he's using the same word across all the passages, because this is how he's translated the Qur'an. It's a very literal translation, and he sticks with the meaning of a word throughout. I wanted to bring to your attention, after this sort of preface, into how this word Taghut is used in the Quran. And these are the instances where you can see that the word Taghut doesn't just mean an abstract entity. It actually means the government state, and not only the state, the people who are assisting the state, the oppressors, the muftis and sheikhs are also part of this oppression, by the way, and you'll see that later on as well. Okay, so we're gonna start with the first passage here. This is chapter 2, verses 256 and 257. No compulsion is there in doctrine. Sound judgment is clear from error. And whoso denies idols, Taghut, and believes in God, he has grasped a firm handhold which has no break, and God is hearing, knowing. God is the ally of those who heed warning. He brings them out of darkness into the light. And those who are indifferent to warning, the allazina kafaru, their allies are idols, Taghut, and they bring them out of light into darkness. These are the companions of the fire, wherein they abide eternally. So the allazina kafaru, their idols, the Taghut is their ally. The system is their ally. And it is bringing them from light into darkness, so it's misguiding them. Whereas God is the ally of the allazina amanu, and He is bringing them out of darkness into the light via His revelations and His guidance. So it's talking about denying idols, denying Taghut, as in stopping serving this system, the shaitanic system, trying to get away from the various ways it ensnares you, which is what? Interest, propaganda, consuming of entertainment, eating food that's not pure. And now there's also myriads of ways, which I'm sure you're aware of. Anyway, moving on. Chapter 4, verse 51. Hast thou not considered those given a portion of the law? They believe in fictions and idols, Taghut, and say of those who are indifferent to warning, these are better guided in the way than those who heed warning. Now, why would they be saying that? Why would they say that these are better guided in the way than those who heed warning? Well, if you see the current situation, what's going on, most of the Muslim leaders are basically in bed with Bill Gates and this whole vaccine agenda and this mask agenda. They have no qualms. They think that this is wonderful and that, these people, these scientists, these doctors, they know what they're talking about. And so these are better guided in the way than those who heed warning, those people who are resisting. Because they believe in fictions and Taghut. Fictions is stories. And obviously the Hadith literature is fiction as well. Moving on, chapter 4, verse 60 and 61. Hast thou not considered those who claim to believe in what is sent down to thee and what was sent down before thee, desiring to go for judgment to Taghut, idols, when they have been ordered to reject it, and the shaitan desires to lead them far astray? And when it is said to them, come to what God has sent down, and to the messenger, thou seest the waverers forsake thee utterly. Now I know this verse is typically used against the Qur'an alone followers, and by them saying, look, you need to be following the hadith. But if you read the context, it's basically the context is that the messenger is there, and obviously now the messenger isn't there, he's dead. So now you can't really go to the messenger and present your case, but you can come to the book of God, which was revealed to the messenger, and look to what it says about your specific case. Anyway, who are the people who are desiring to go to judgment to Taghut, to idols? Well, it's the Muslims who go to these muftis and sheikhs and look at their fatwas or look up their understanding of the book of God and follow what they've already proclaimed, right? Because you have to understand the muftis and the sheikhs and the mullahs, they're all plugged into the system. They are a part of this system. I mean, if you actually go and read up on the history of the priestly class and how the kings have always cooperated, throughout time, even the caliphs, they were big on, basically nurturing these parasites, these mullahs and sheikhs and muftis and imams, because these are the ones who were helping the state consolidate its control. Even the Islamic, the Saudi scholars, the Shura Council is completely in the hands of the king, and basically they work hand in glove. So you have to understand that these mufti and sheikhs are not here to liberate you from tyranny. They are part of the tyrannical structure, and that's why you will never see these guys who, no matter if they understand this or not, or they believe in this pandemic stuff or not, they will never come out and say anything against the state, because they understand that they are feeding off the state, because they are, again, the arm of the state. Anyway, moving forward, this is a good segue, I guess, into chapter 4, verse 75 to 76. And why should you not fight for the cause of God and of the oppressed among the men and the women and the children who say, Our Lord, take thou us out of this city whose people are wrongdoers, and give thou us from thyself an ally, and give thou us from thyself a helper. Those who heed warning fight for the cause of God, and those who are indifferent to warning, the allazina kafaru, fight for the cause of idols, Taghut. Then fight the allies of the shaitan. The plan of shaitan is weak. The people who are fighting for the cause of Taghut. Let's look at it in context now. According to our experience, right? Throughout history, has anyone fought another party because they don't believe in their Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna or Lord Buddha, or that they desecrated their idols? No. Usually what happens is that the fights, the wars happen because of king and country, because basically an emperor or king or president or whatever declares war on a country, and then the people, the soldiers or mercenaries, they go and fight the wars. This is always how it's happened. Or they fight for some misguided cause such as democracy or freedom, or in the case of mercenaries, they're fighting for money. So this has always been the case. So now when it's saying, the Qur'an is saying that those who are indifferent to warning, the allazina kafaru, fight for the cause of Taghut. You understand what Taghut is? Taghut is this system. Because, a lot of people, they don't understand that when they go and fight. Okay, so I'm just talking about a teenager who, got enlisted in the U.S. Army, and then he went there. The reason he got enlisted in the U.S. Army is either because he was misguided by the propaganda that's spewing across the TV all day long, that, it's about, helping people or defending freedom, or because he didn't see a way out of his current predicament. A lot of people join, a lot of kids, they join the army because this is the only way they can get out of where they're from, their homes or whatever. And they understand that once they serve, they go there, they enlist and they serve, then they come back, they will have opportunities, they will have a GI Bill to go off on, they will make money, so they will be able to better their lives. So this is what they're fighting for, because this is again the system, Taghut. It's the system is designed that it promises you a better future, and that's a lie, because it will never deliver on that promise, because they are the allies of the shaitan. And now why does it say that those who heed warning fight for the cause of God? Because those who heed warning are standing up for truth and justice and in helping the oppressed. So this is what the allazina amanu are fighting for. So you can see clearly the distinction between what Taghut is and what God is. Okay, moving on, chapter 5, verses 59 and 60. Say thou, O doctors of the law, do you resent us, save that we believe in God and what was sent down to us and what was sent down before? And that most of you are wantonly perfidious, the fasiqun, those who break the pledge of God. Say thou, shall I inform you of worse than that as a recompense with God? Worse than what? Worse than the feeling you're feeling for us, the hate you feel for us. He whom God cursed and with whom he was wroth, and made of them apes and swine, when he served idols, Taghut, though these are worse in standing and further astray from the evenness of the way. Now, whatever your understanding of apes and swine are, I want to bring your attention to the fact that God has cursed these people and he is wroth with them. And if you read the Qur'an, you will see that God's cursing is not just a matter of words. What that means is that they're cut off from guidance. They will never be guided. God has sealed their hearing, their sight, and understanding. So serving Taghut is not a simple matter. It's actually God curses you and he is wroth with you, and he makes you apes and swine, basically animals, which I'm sure you encounter every day. Okay, moving on, chapter 16, verses 35 and 36. And those who ascribed a partnership said, okay, these are the mushrikeen, had God willed, we would not have served anything besides him, we and our fathers, nor would we have forbidden anything contrary to him. Thus did those before him. And is there upon the messengers save the clear communication? And we have raised up in every community a messenger. Serve God and shun idols, Taghut, and among them was he whom God guided, and among them was he upon whom misguidance became binding. So travel in the land and see how was the final outcome for the repudiators. So this is the argument the mushrikeen are making, those who ascribe a partnership with God. And who are they ascribing a partnership to? Shaitan. Because they think that by serving this system, by serving this Taghut, and which by proxy means they are serving Shaitan, they can be saved. They will have a better future. Okay? And that their wealth and children will be secure. Anyway, these people, the mushrikeen, they say, had God willed, we would not have served anything besides him. Okay, this is their argument. And they would not have forbidden anything contrary to him. Now I know, you know that Muslims, that's what they do. They make many things forbidden, besides what God has forbidden in the Qur'an. But leaving aside that point, what did the messengers always come and say? They said, serve God and shun idols, shun Taghut. Okay? And so basically the idea is that you are serving those people who claim that they are Muslims. They are actually serving what their fathers served. Because again, the religion idea is in itself a sort of a diversion from the real religion that everyone is serving, which is this satanic system. This system that's based on usury and corruption and deceit and lies and exploitation. This is what basically the mushrikeen, their fathers served, and they are serving the same system. Because again, the religion of Islam and religion of Christianity are basically an offspring of this satanic system. They are means of control that were basically implemented to keep the people in line. Anyway, I'm going to finish this off by the chapter 39, verses 14 through 18. Which I hope brings the point home. Say thou, God do I serve, sincere to him in my doctrine. So serve what you will besides him. Say thou, the losers will be those who lose themselves and their families on the day of resurrection. Is that not the clear loss? They will have a canopy of fire above them, and beneath them a canopy. By that does God put his servants in dread. O my servants, be in prudent fear of me, and those who shun idols, lest they serve them, and turn to God. For them are glad tidings. So give thou glad tidings to my servants, those who hear the word, and follow the best thereof. These are they whom God guides, and these are those possessed of insight. So there is still hope. We can turn back from this system, stop serving this system, and serve God, being sincere to him in doctrine, and to shun Tahut. We are all born in this system of Tahut, and we have obviously served this system for a long time. Every man has to make a decision, now that knowledge has come, that whether they want to continue serving this shaitanic system, or do they want to stand up for the truth and resist oppression, and turn back to God, because God is the best of providers. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. God willing, until next video, peace be upon you.